This I can guarantee you. Sometime in the future, some poor dude is going to watch this Nutnfancy auto knife review, and he's just going to break down and cry. Sobbing, I tell you. And not like the kind of sobbing you've been doing lately ever since your wife or girlfriend left you, since you've been spending so much money on Nutnfancy reviewed knives. No, more meaningful sobbing. She'll come back, dude. Steel lasts forever, right? No, this guy's going to be crying because he missed out on the deal I'm going to show you right now on the Spyderco Citadels. The C117 and the C119. They are discontinued by Spyderco. They will soon be a thing of the past. Their cool factor will escalate. In the upper right, actually I'm going to make it the upper left, is Blade HQ's address where you can go and buy these knives for an incredible Nutnfancy special price. Get them while you can. That's why that guy's going to be crying. He's going to see that price. He's going to know they're gone. He missed it for whatever reason. Wasn't subbed to TMP. And much sadness will ensue. The Spyderco Citadel. 83mm, 92mm. This is the official Nutnfancy review. I kind of started reviewing auto knives in TMP, and in a lot of ways I backed off from it because there's a lot of dudes out there that will watch this video that cannot legally own them. That's one reason. Another reason is I wanted to expand my catalog of reviews that would serve my subscribership well. And I think I've done that. I have hundreds of videos out there. Each one I put a lot of work and thought and research and testing into. Another reason is the balanced manual actions that are out there are so phenomenal. The waved knives that an auto knife really isn't necessary to gain an incredible amount of speed and accessibility to your blade. That being said, there is still something extremely special in a lot of people's minds, including my own, I admit it, about an auto blade. Let's kick it off with philosophy of use. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. And I started already. Collectible. These knives are discontinued. You have your choice of DLC coated or satin finish. Get them while you can. They'll be gone. That's not to say there's not a lot out there, but honestly, I don't think it was a successful design for Spyderco. I could be off on that. But I didn't run into a lot of guys ever talking about the Citadel. I personally was never super attracted to it. I thought they were more expensive than they were. And because I was so fixated on manuals and assisted opening, that I pretty much just didn't pay attention to it. Until I talked to Blade HQ and we talked about pricing levels we can make available to the TMP viewing audience and subscribers. Now at that price level, I'm very excited about it. Philosophy of use, therefore, is first and foremost, to me, a collectible. Still riding the Band-Aid. Love it, embrace it, deal with it. That is a cool looking knife, but it kind of has to grow on you. I will admit, at first glance, I looked at the Citadels and I was like, they're alright. You know, keep in mind, I have some pretty upscale autos in my own personal collection. We'll see that before the video ends, if I remember. Second philosophy of use is as it's intended by Spyderco, and that is pretty much a soldier or LE quick accessibility weapon. Can still function in that. And the arrangement on the controls for the Citadel, when we talk about speed, is almost perfection. It really is. And I think it is a very fast auto knife. Once again, is it faster than a manual action? Wave action? Let's just say it's fast, okay? How about EDC? Yeah. Here's another HEC option. And like I said in that philosophy video, not necessarily tied to price. Because the price on these is a smoking, I'm going to say it because it'll be gone before you know it, $119. For this level of quality, being a Spyderco, dudes, that is smoking value. But it's still HEC. So if you EDC this knife, which I think it is thoroughly capable of, albeit on a little bit on the heavy side, maybe even the big side, a lot of guys just don't care. extra style points. Absolutely. There might be some other POUs, maybe gift item, but being an auto knife, there's some legalities involved. You just kind of got to watch those. On to size and weight. Okay, what we got? That on the bottom is 83 millimeter, 5 ounces. On the top, what they call the 92 millimeter, 5.2 ounces. That is in line with other automatic knives that I personally own, and I want to show you some of them before the video ends. In some ways, it's heavier. I'm not going to call them ultra lightweight. They're not. The feel is excellent. It's got that milled in groove pattern, same as we're going to see on, once again, the Pardue Auto Axis from Benchmade. It's identical. It provides, at least on the side of the handle, outstanding traction. So when we talk about feel, I guess we're talking about ergonomics kind of. It's excellent. Great balance in hand. No issues at all whatsoever. That is a saber ground blade with a large unsharpened swedge running topside. No, I'm not a super fan of the saber grind usually. In this knife at $119, I'm a big fan of it, actually. The relief edge as it comes on these S30V steel blades is perfection. The sharpness levels, if I have some paper here, is perfection. Check it. How's that for a cutting test? Lame, Nutnfancy. I know. Good enough, though. Take it from me. They're insanely sharp. S30V steel, do I really need to talk about it? CPM technology, very fine grain structure, good rust resistance, good toughness. A little bit harder to sharpen. I don't find it being that much more exceptional than other steels and edge holding for what I do. Castrating sheep, cutting tomatoes, you know, the regular stuff. I'm kidding. You can take your pick, once again, of DLC coating, which these have. That's my preferred one. Or satin finish. Let me break out the catalog and you can see the satin one. I don't really have one to show you. Right there. That's a C117 satin. There's a C119 flying boxcar in satin. Air Force plane guys will know what that reference about. So the blade shape is decent. Here's something that Spyderco almost always gets absolutely right. Do I need to say it again? Okay, I will. Jimping. Sick. Jimping is perfect with a thumb ramp. Just like we see on the Enduras and all the classic Spydercos, ones I've been reviewing for years. Love the jimping. None on the bottom, but you have a perfect, I can't speak perfect. You have a perfect finger guard right there, dudes. So great job on that. How about speed? This is kind of a cool point thing with auto guys. It really is. How fast does it come out of handle? I'm going to start with a small one, the 83 millimeter 117. Remember, I'm an auto guy from way back. I'll dub that as excellent. Here comes the big model. I'll dub that as good, not excellent. The bigger one is slower. Makes sense, doesn't it? There's more metal to come out. What Spyderco should have done is increase the spring strength on that one. But they're both adequate. The smaller one comes out faster. The lockups, amazing. I didn't hard cut with these, by the way. So sorry, no time. I got to get the information out to you. I don't foresee any problems whatsoever. Lockup is affected by the button interface. Adjustable pivot point. There you go. Strength, I think, will be excellent. When I reviewed, here it comes. I might as well show you now. By the way, that Pardue Auto Axis 5000, its speed is not phenomenal either, and yet I still love it. Okay, so I kind of dinged that one saying it's good. This one is exactly the same. By the way, check out that purple anodizing. Oh, suckers. You missed out on this? Oh, you guys suck. Love this one. Notice the exact same approach to handle jimping. Not jimping, but milling. But anyways, blade speed, the same. Good, not outstanding. It doesn't blow me away. I'll show you some before the video ends that does blow me away, but they're going to be a lot more money. So handle construction, 6061 T6 screw together construction. We talked about the milling already. And you have a swappable clip. Thank you. Tip up. Take your pick, lefties, whatever you want. Oh wait, maybe not, because it's a right side positioned button. Oh, so sorry. Handle's kind of thick. Where did that 5000 go? That's thicker still by a slight amount, but these are not ultra thin knives. Very few autos are, in my experience. There's a couple exceptions, kind of like the Kershaw, now discontinued 7000. Moment of silence while we weep. Yeah, handle construction decent. Ergonomics we pretty much addressed with the jimping, the side milling, the feel. Call it good. Clip. How about perfect on the Citadel? Perfect. It's blackened, which it should be for an auto knife. I pretty much don't like it when they're not. Well, it depends on what your purpose is. If it's just panache, then maybe not. That's a perfect clip, and again, rolling in the Benchmade, it's about like the Benchmade clip, and I raved about that one. And any review that wears it, the 940 Osborne Axis, I think, has the same one. It's just perfect. It's strong, securely attached with 3 screws. No goofy Wizard of Oz issues. It doesn't flare out. And notice this, how it tapers down a little bit. Very low profile. The clip is excellent. Durability, I think we kind of addressed already in lockup. I think it'll be great. This is a tactical folder primarily, perhaps HEC. In those roles, I don't think you'll have any issues at all. And if you do, Spyderco will take care of you. They have excellent service. Now we come to a fun part of the video. Not really necessary, because I'm going to tell you right now, every knife I'm getting ready to roll in front of the camera is going to be a lot more expensive. Maybe not a lot, but some. I already showed you that gorgeous purple 5000. Very limited. I think I got that one back in 04. At the time, that was, you guys are going to hate this. What did I pay for that sucker? Did I write it down? Yeah, $185. I could sell it for a lot more now. That Mel Pardue auto axis. So that's a cool option. How about this? I don't know if you've seen this for a while out of the TMP collection. Microtech Auto Amphibian. Suck it. Oh my gosh, is this a wicked auto. It's got the non-black clip on it though. Beautiful ergonomics. And one thing I didn't talk about, this is a good time to do it, is this is a very important thing to me for an auto knife that's intended for a tactical philosophy of use. The whole makeup and arrangement of the deployment button. Here on the Amphibian, it is just perfection. Serrated, it's oblong. You can see that. I reviewed this, I think, back in 08, the manual and this one. It's just perfection. It doesn't raise out too much. It does have a safety. I think they've discontinued that in Microtech because Benchmade owns a patent on that. Now let's look at the Citadel, how it does it. I did say earlier in the video that it was perfection, and it is. Can you tell why? Think ergonomics. How about this dished out area right here? And there's no pivot screw confusion, which I have seen on some very high-end autos to include Dalton. So I come forward and I just am immediately sent towards the deployment button. Granted, we have a safety in the way, but it's very stiff and it's hard to actuate. Thank you very much, Spyderco. I never use those, by the way. Like, not never. Okay, so the deployment button on these, that's about how far it sticks out on the Citadels. About right. And you can find it. The only way they could have improved it is by putting a texture on it. So just tactily that you could feel the difference, just like on this Amphibian. But it's pretty much an A- effort on that, which is to say, well done. Amphibian, oh how we miss you. Maybe it'll be brought back someday. Actually, I kind of hope it isn't. It's just more special. Reference my HEC video. How about this one? This is kind of a bigger Kershaw 2001. Oh, dudes, never seen in front of the TMP camera. The perfect Kershaw clip, the one I love. It's kind of a big and thick knife, pillar construction, medium speed on it. It's not a wicked fast. Wicked fast is that it comes out so hard and so fast that if you're not holding on to it, it flips out of your hands. Personally, that's the speed that I respect. I really, really love it when they get it right. ProTech does that. Piranha does that. Some others do that. This is a perfect knife. I'm going to review it too. Not now, later. 5 ounces, 14C28 in steel, 140 bucks. By the way, what did I pay for that amphibian? I don't know. It was expensive. Like two something, I think, 2 1/4. So that's a great option if you could find it. They are discontinued as well. What's going on with auto knives? I'll tell you what's going on is that the market has eroded because assisted opening is so insanely high value and functional. There you go, from Nutnfancy. That's what's going on. There still is a market for autos. I think what's going to happen is they're going to come down and then people are going to realize they're still cool and then it's going to come back up to a certain level. Maybe my videos will help that. I don't want to see autos go away. I don't. They're still cool. And to me, they're kind of an in-your-face to the protectionists who think they're so evil. Oh, autos, we got to control those. You know, those are more dangerous. Ridiculous. Here comes one Protect, the TR3. Now that's a fast deploying auto. 3.6 ounces, the classic 154 cm steel. That's not full flat ground. Okay, that's a conventional grind. Unsharpened swedge. I raved about the TR3. It's a reference automatic blade to me. Functional milling in that aluminum handle. I think that's 6000 series as well. Protect's very good about that. Really functional jimping. Excellent clip. Blackened. Gray with a track insert inside. Man, I just love this knife. It is so cool. Pillar constructed. At the time, $165. These are still available in different colorations of Protect TR3. Great knife. More money than the Citadels. All these are. I told you that. I got to get going. How about this? That's great speed. I'll call it excellent. That's a Microtech UMS dated 1 of 2005. Black. I think that's an S30V. Yep. They're still making this knife. I think it's called the UDT. That's a gorgeous knife. Comes in different colorations. I've shown you some other ones. It's going to be a lot lighter. 3.8 ounces. So that's 1.2 ounce saving. And the price way back then, $150. It's a lot more now. Let's see. One more. You guys digging this? Auto guys. How about this, dudes? Protech. What is this one? The Elishewitz Doru. That speed is outstanding. Once again from Protech. They put strong springs in there. And once again we see the family heritage of very serious milling of the handle. Now in the Citadel, that's really not a player because you have that jimping run here. I wouldn't have minded it right here though. I mean, so the handle really locked in. And it's all said and done. Water under the bridge. I'm not so much digging that blade shape so much, this particular one, but it is razor sharp. And I think the blade steel on that is classic 154 cm. It also is relatively thick. Good jimping back here. Perfect blackened pocket clip. That's it. That's competitive options. I'll tell you what, you're not going to score any of these knives, maybe this one if you're super lucky, for $119. I just don't see it happening. Get it while you can. At that pricing, I am personally very, very excited about the knife. At $185, less so. Okay, it's not full flat ground, but it has good belly. I don't know if I mentioned that, and a very strong tip. And the family heritage of Spyderco. It was a law enforcement intended automatic blade. I'm not so sure how many they sold, but this is your chance to own a piece of Spyderco history. It's automatic, it's sick, and it will make you stop crying because of your wife and girlfriend. Nutnfancy.